Tree Country 1330 WTRE. It's time to garden with Sarah.
Hey, it's January. Who's been out in their garden? I did. I went and planted the last of my bulbs this week because they were sitting on the cart and I kind of forgot. And so mild weather, Paul took his drill, whipped out those holes, and they went, and they'll be just fine.
So if I have tulip bulbs, I just thought about these because they were drying out in my bathroom, my spare one. Am I too late? Yeah.
Feel the bulb. It's never too late to plant.
Okay.
But feel the bulb, because if the bulb has dried out, don't bother.
I put them in a brown paper bag.
Well,
we'll see.
Good for you.
Right? So if it dried out, don't bother it.
No, because they're dead.
It's done and over.
But if they feel like an onion,
then
firm,
we're okay.
Get them in the ground.
All right, I'll have to check those.
They'll be a little bit later this year, just having gotten started, but the ground is quite malleable at this point.
It's still pretty warm. I mean,
it's
relatively
squirrely, yes. And so, what the heck? I had somebody actually help me plant some kind of a magic Santa's helper came in December because we were a little backed up, and the Day Garden Club is going to do just a little splash of color over at what we call the Point, across from the old fire station. And so Santa's helper came and with young backs worked the dirt up and said, I can throw these bulbs in for you. And I'm like, okay.
Throw away.
Yeah, go for it, because I don't know when I'm going to work that in. So that was a fun Christmas gift for sure. And we'll see how they come up. It'll be a surprise. But the whole idea is just to have a little splash of color. A lot of people come in on that road, and we had the blessing of Mayor Josh and the city, and hopefully it's arranged so that nobody will mow it down, and it could happen. It's happened before. And then we'll add summer flowers just to kind of have that continual color.
I think it's a nice welcome as you're coming into downtown from
Absolutely,
from Michigan,
and you just want to have, a little, it gets you in a happy mood.
That's right.
And that's what you want when people come in your town. You want them to have that feeling. So that's the effort, and it's quite manageable because a few of us, me included, might have gotten older. God.
How does that happen?
I don't know, but it's rude. So it's manageable from a maintenance standpoint, and everybody's in a gung-ho agreement that we're going to go for it.
Well, good. We're excited to have you do that.
Rumor has it that you made a little adventure trip and might have picked up a few plants.
I did, yeah. We took a little short jaunt to Nashville, Tennessee this last weekend.
And had lovely weather.
Oh, it was 70. As we rolled into town, I said, today we're going to have 70-degree weather, and we did. So I was thrilled with that.
That's a happy day.
That was a very happy day, yes.
That's fun. So did you get repetitious additions or new and different?
Everything was new and different. So we went, it was an antique and garden show.
That sounds pretty darn perfect.
It was, yeah, it's pretty perfect. The antiques were...
Did you have a vehicle big enough to bring everything
We did,
home?
and we packed it. We did good. Yeah, we did really well.
I love it.
They had, so I got, I was telling you, I got it's the angel wing plant, but it's a polka dot.
Yes, it's a relatively newish, probably been on the market. I've seen it in upper end retail places probably for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
But the trend is, as there is this resurgence of houseplant interest, which had pretty much died off. I mean, it was big, so old. It was really big in the 70s, and when we all had plants instead of curtains at our windows. And then it became a chore and interests go elsewhere. Well, after COVID, when people were at home and decided they wanted their environment to be a little more human-friendly and aesthetically pleasant, there was this resurgence. So there have been these wonderful new varieties that have been developed, and and they are the hottest thing going. You know, I look at them and go, geez, oh, flip, those are pricey. But people are paying it.
They're paying it.
And they're excited because they're new and different. And so I wish you the best with your polka
I
dot
couldn't
angel
believe
wing.
like it's a part of it fluffed out because you know you have the wrapping around
Right.
it, but it is just like taken off. So we'll
That's
see what
great.
happens.
It has a good spot then.
Yeah, and then I added to the succulent farm.
Ah,
'Cause, you
so
know.
now we have acres and acres.
We have acres and acres of succulent farms. So I got one that is going to produce starfish-looking blooms,
Oh.
and one is supposed to be lifesavers.
Oh my.
I know, right? And then one of them, she showed me the picture of the bloom. So it's just it looks like a tall, skinny cactus-ish
Right.
thing.
And it looks like it has a fake straw flower on top.
Nope, nothing on top.
Not- nothing.
I mean, it is as boring as it gets, just
Okay.
straight up. And then it gets like a stem that comes off of it with a big bloom, and the inside of the bloom is like hairy. She had a picture. Yes, I'm excited to see what happens there.
I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
I hope there are pictures that get posted on
Oh, there will be
WTRE.
As
you
they
know.
come. Yes, as
That
we have.
that sounds fun. Well, in nursing this little upper respiratory thing with no energy, somehow my charming husband found a new channel on the television, and you know we are not of any modern generation, so we still pay, you know, stupid to have channels come into our house, and you know we probably watch, you know, 17 channels out of 400, and he discovered a new one, and it's way up in the high numbers. I never would have found it, and it is Monty Don Gardener's World. It's from England, so very classic English cottage gardens. He does tours. He actually does the labor and the digging. And I'm telling you, on a winter day, it is as therapeutic as anything you've ever. And I also told Paul this could cost you money because every time I see something
Actually, there's
on this
ideas.
show, it's like, ooh, that's really pretty. I wonder if I could grow that in my backyard. And the answer is usually probably not, but I'll try it.
He has no idea what he opened up, does he?
No, he thought he was just being nice to me, and the other thing is it has this real mellow kind of background,
Oh, yeah.
so you can sleep to it quite
It's just
well.
a very pleasant show to watch.
Yeah, no stress, no news. You know, you just have happy flowers.
I love it.
And he does talk about techniques. My favorite part is the part where they'll go, and you have to understand, because I've watched some other English shows in the past, they have postage stamps for backyards, and they garden every
Like every
square inch
yes.
of it. And when somebody says, I have 10 meters squared in my backyard, it's like, well, that's about enough to hold your trash can. But they do it. And so the fun part for me has been when they take these, you know, new residents that want to create a garden and have never gardened before, and with some guidance, actually teaches them how to do it. And the transformation is so much fun.
Do they show like
reminds
the
me.
before and after?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And you look at it. There was one property was pretty big, and this lady, she was very meticulous. She was a scientist, so her world was very specific, and she had decided she wanted to raise bees.
Oh.
And I thought, wow, that's kind of starting with a tall order if you've never even gardened. And they had bought a property that was the most overgrown, bramble-ridden mess that you've ever seen. And, you know, you could see their frustration, and ultimately, you know, and all the mistakes that we've all made, you know, trying to put in a small pond. Oh, yeah, well, there has to be level or the water runs out, you know, the basics. And By golly, she did it, and then he advised on what kind of plants in order to provide nectaring for the bees and so on and so forth. And I don't know how they got it done, but they spent 4 months
4 months?
doing this project, and I was like, most people would have given up after about 4 days or 4 weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say
That's commitment.
That's commitment, yes.
Or crazy. I don't know which. So anyway, it is the new year, so it's time to dream. And in the new year, one of the things we should be mindful of is this is the big birthday celebration of America this year.
250.
250. So I'm going to say spend 250 in your garden. And you can take that 250 however you want to. And let's have red, white, and blue everywhere.
I love this idea.
I think it would be so much fun. The National Garden Club is advocating it, so therefore state and local are as well. But, you know, it's a win-win. Red, white, and blue flowers, blues are a little tricky, but red, white, and blue is easy to grow. Because most of them are very basics that we can do, but
you can do like that deep purple that's almost a bluish.
Absolutely,
too, right? So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Or you can do red and white and just have some accoutrements to splash the blue. You know, maybe you want blue sparklies or whatever.
So we're going to
or a blue flag.
We're going to turn Decatur County red, white, and blue. Let's do this.
I think we can, and I'd love to see it. You know, I haven't brought this up to the garden clubs, but you know, maybe we'll make it a little contest of sorts. I'd have to talk to some of my buddies in other communities, but they sometimes do kind of garden of the month.
Oh, fun.
And I think that could stimulate some
interest.
Some warm competition and some interest, and get people away from their screens and out looking around, walking and talking and taking rides and enjoying it.
So we need to tell Kate and Chris over at Expressions they better beef up the red and white, right?
There you go, red, white, and blue. Absolutely. And I think it'll be interesting to see if the suppliers, I know, you know, I follow some of the nurseries online, and they're planting, it's planting season, so it's like, oh, look at the babies in the nursery. They're so cute.
It's interesting you bring up the 250. While we were at that show, there was one seed company, and they had packaged everything in the America's 250.
There you go.
So they were heavily promoting.
And I just got an email yesterday, and I thought, this is great marketing, whether you like Thomas Jefferson or not, but it was the Jefferson collection of seeds. And it was not flowers per se, but it was varieties that he had grown, supposedly. I wasn't there. I'm not quite that old. But of tomato, onions, peppers, lettuce, hot peppers, pole beans, cucumbers, and nasturtiums. And I'm like, okay, we got very little red or white there. But you know, I bet that collection will sell out just because of the marketing and the label. So it'll be interesting to see what else comes out. And one of the 2026 perennial of the year, and my native plant enthusiasts, you can hide your ears right now, because when promos are done for perennial of the year, of course it's a new cultivar. But this is called the Big Blue Stem Black Hawk variety. And Big Blue Stem is an Indiana native. It's a great big prairie grass that has very deep roots, very common and vigorous when northern Indiana was prairie, and in the reestablishment of prairies. And you know, for all the right reasons, because of the deep roots, drought tolerance, the buffalo could eat it and it would grow back, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is a new variety that has kind of a bluish hint to the stems and the seed heads. So we'll see how it performs. I never know for sure how these plants are chosen, but they get a big marketing push, and people go crazy, and then the jury will be out by the end of the summer going, was it great or was it overrated? We'll find out. We'll get back to you on that one. That's for sure. But it does have blue in the title, so it's gonna be a nice background. You could always use the blue tone grasses with your red and white flowers in your pots
that
and
gets
that
you your
sort of
height,
thing.
right?
Absolutely,
because
you need the thriller and the spiller and
yes,
all those in order to have balance in your pots.
I think come this spring that we'll on YouTube
We'll do one.
We'll do one so they can see.
Okay.
Yeah,
we could do that. I think that sounds like fun. We'll have to have some serious thought to make it creative and good. The trick is when you go out to plant those pots in the spring, most of the flowers that you're getting are good in the spring. And the trick is planting for later in the summer. So sometimes you have to leave a little space to add or get something that's not yet in bloom in order to have it perform as
make
beautiful.
it last. Yes.
So I also was looking at some bargains on the sale columns. If anybody didn't get an amaryllis as a gift in December, which is a very classic gift because now they are opening and blooming and looking spectacular and bringing a great color and refreshment to the winter doldrums. The bulbs are half price online right now. So instead of crazy $20 prices, they're $9. And they're the same bulbs, and they will perform well. You'll just have bloom in February, which would be perfect for Valentine's Day.
That's right.
Because most of them are in the red and white and pink family. So.
And who doesn't love a good sale?
Well, duh. Exactly. You proved that. You went to Nashville.
That's right.
So I've also been looking at tools. And one that I'll be on the hunt for, because I haven't found the one I want. There are plenty of them out there. But I haven't found the one I want yet, and that is just the right weight and size soil scoop. In the past, my husband would cut a plastic bottle, like an old antifreeze bottle or that sort of thing, because it's real heavy plastic, or a laundry bottle, and make a nice scoop, because the handle would be natural and that sort of thing. So if I can't entice him, I'm going to be on the hunt for just the right scoop, because we had a little incident in December that he has made fun of me ever since, and I was potting a terrarium. I had gotten some baby plants that I could get through the neck of the thing, and fortunately it's doing fairly well at this point, because I've had a lot of failures in terrariums because they get too wet and then
They're
they
tough.
rot. Well, it's all about balance, and if you get them too wet to start, you're toast, and you got to wait for it to dry out for a year. But I think we might have some hope. And so when I was doing that and I added just a little bit of dirt, I was using apparently my kitchen measuring cup.
Oh, it happens.
And then, of course, I blamed him. I mean, sorry, Paul, because I couldn't find it. And, we're retracing steps, and I'm like, I've got the third cup, the half cup, the quarter cup, blah, 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 blah. And I said, but I only have a 1 cup, and I got to have a 1 cup. That's what I use for well, sure enough, he goes out in the garage, and he goes, got it. I'm like, where did you find it, and why was it in the garage? He goes, in the bag of dirt.
You were caught.
And so guilty as charged, and I washed it, and it's now back in circulation. It's absolutely fine. And he was like, you really going to use it? I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it other than it was in the dirt for 3 weeks.
I tend to use a lot of my kitchen things
Absolutely.
when it comes to flowering. It's just
And
happens.
the trick is to not throw them away and to not leave them where you can't find them.
That's right. And then just wash them and they're fine. It's all good.
Absolutely. Well, and I crack up because I did see the other day, I was up in Indianapolis, and I saw this little fancy little kit of 3 tools for terrariums. Well, first of all, the handle was only about 7.5 or 8 inches long, and I'm like, well, that wouldn't reach any terrarium I got because I use these big glass jugs.
Okay.
And Paul actually made a tool for me that would reach. And I'm like, well, that's kind of... And then I saw the price. It was $27 for...
For tools?
Yeah, and it was like, okay, if I get a fork and a spoon and my measuring cup, I got it covered without an investment whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like, oh my gosh. But, probably somebody got one as a gift, so I'm not going to be too nasty.
Yes, to each their own.
Right,
but, you
right.
know.
And they look real pretty. I don't know if they're functional or not, but I did see, this one's a cute one. It's going to be on my wish list for my birthday. It is a miniature trowel, and of course, we all have our favorite trowels because they fit just right, and heaven forbid if somebody takes them. But this one has a 3-inch blade, so it's perfect for transplanting new plants or for doing indoor plants.
Yes.
Like at the succulent farm.
Yes.
Because it's small and it won't disturb those
does-
little it doesn't dump stuff out.
Where did you find this at?
It's an online site
Okay.
called Gardener something or other. And we've actually, when we were out east a year ago, we went to their retail store because I was familiar. Gardener's Supply might be what it's called. And they'll just have obtusely weird things every now and then. And it was like, this one's pretty tempting. It's pretty cute. So I think that'll be on the birthday list for sure.
I think that's a good idea.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as we talk about plants in the new year, a month from now is Valentine's Day.
Can you believe that?
And it'll be crazy for all the local florists. And I'd love if one of them would text or call in. Which day is busier, the Valentine's holiday or Mother's Day?
Oh, I help out
With delivery?
with delivery.
I did that once.
I'm going to say it's Valentine's Day. Kate or Chris, if you're listening, you can call or text me.
Right.
But I want to say it's probably Valentine's Day. I feel like, especially
Lot of guilt.
with the delivery, we're on the move. Yeah.
Well, and my friend Kathy and I helped her out one year, and then I wasn't here on Valentine's Day for a few years. And it was unbelievable. And the thing that amazed me, and only people in a certain business would know the quirkiness, but how many people come in and they are killing themselves, getting everything ready and preparing and trying to have some things kind of partially made ahead so they can crank it out. I mean, it's kind of a bit of an assembly line. And then there's Joe Schmo that comes in at 3:30 on Valentine's afternoon and says, I'm in trouble. What do you got? And they're like, and they'll point over, and there's like a half-empty bucket of some straggling flowers, and that's probably it in the entire town. And I'm sure it's true at every single floral outlet. And he's like, those look great. And I'm like, they could charge him anything because
he just needs them.
Yeah, he's got to have them because he's not going to have a place to sleep if he doesn't walk in with something.
I always laugh at the people that come in, like the middle of the afternoon even, and it's busy, on Valentine, it is busy. And then they're like, they look around like, really? Like, it's that busy? And like, I shouldn't be able to just
They have no idea.
No,
they have no
not at
idea
all.
because any other time of the year, they could probably walk in, have a little chat, no big deal. And it's like, no, these people have been working like this for at least a week straight.
Just to get ready.
just cranking it out. So I'm going to suggest some of you could plan ahead and actually order things now.
What a concept, Sarah.
I know. Is that crazy? And maybe even some plants and not just flowers, because plants will last.
Plants last.
I'm
sure there's other succulent farmers out there.
Exactly. And if they plan ahead, they'll have them ready. They'll be nicely coiffed and presentable. They have a little bow, maybe a little foil on the pot, and they'll be good to go. And you will win over your sweetie. And I'm also going to advocate guys like flowers too. Don't let them fool you. They'll play tough, but they like to get little surprises, not just candy.
That's right.
So there you go. Plan ahead and make it easy on your friendly florist. And that way they can have things ready and not have all those last-minute surprises.
Is this Paul's reminder to call ahead?
Oh, it doesn't matter. He'll just say, get what you want. He's real easy. He's really, really easy. So it also is the time of year when now, even though you're not very interested, it's the time to spruce up your tools. We talk about this periodically, and it's just your friendly reminder, because when that warm weather breaks somewhere about the end of February, you'll get a sneak preview. And then in March, you're going to just be ready to jump and play and stir, and it'll still be too soon, but have your tools cleaned up. Use the steel wool on those metal tools. And use your file and get a nice edge on your spade. A little, sometimes a little mineral oil. If you got a little rust going on, you clean that off with your steel wool and get them all refreshed. And then I'm also a big advocate. Tools can hide in the springtime and then get run over by a mower, which is not good for the mower and it's not good for the tool. So you can get wild duct tape and put some wild color on the handle of your tool, or you actually could slap a little paint on there and make it some neon color, bright yellow or green, so it stands out and you go, oh, I left that leg. I answered the phone, I walked away, blah, blah, blah. So plan ahead and try not to destroy your favorite tools.
Was that speaking from experience?
Perhaps.
Oh, maybe. It happens.
You know, it goes back to my favorite trowel. There was a company called Smith & Hawken about 25 years ago, and Martha Stewart was a big advocate at that time, and they had this narrow blade trowel, and it was all one piece of metal, so you didn't have that connecting point that could bend or break at the neck between the blade and the handle. So, and it fit very nicely for hands that don't always work. And I had a red one and a green one, and the green one got lost.
Oh.
And of course it was dark green, blah, blah, blah. Well, I think it was about 2 years, and we actually found it. It had gotten somehow thrown in the compost pile, and the tip of it had started to break down, and so it didn't have the blade anymore.
Oh, darn it.
So, yeah, lesson learned. There is some harsh experience.
Spice up your tools.
Absolutely. So the other adventure that I did, I have one terrarium that is so narrow that even the tiniest tiny little plants, I can't get through the neck successfully without breaking them apart. So I actually went out. This is an experiment, so stay tuned for progress reports. I went out and got moss. From the yard, and yes. I started some moss in this terrarium. I mean, it's the right environment. Now, the problem is there is one blade of grass coming up in the middle of that moss in the terrarium. And I'm like, Okay, now how am I going to get that out
Can
of there
Paul
without
make you a tool to get?
Well, we're going to have 2 tools, one to hold the moss in place and the other to pluck. So,
you know, he's probably good at those being a dentist.
Yeah,
like,
he kind of does
details.
some of those funny little details. Yeah, I was just making it long enough, and so I can manipulate. And then come spring, there'll be some other patches because there are different kinds of moss. And so we're going to see if we can just make a moss garden.
I love it.
Well, they show them in the fancy world where they'll actually kind of encourage and cultivate moss gardens in woodlands, and they are absolutely beautiful.
They're gorgeous,
but of course, they have to be just the right environment, because of what moss wants to grow. So we will see how this evolves and whether I have success. So those are my adventures for the winter time to keep me occupied and out of trouble.
I love it.
So to speak. Yeah. So
well, I think just those kind of things make your overall mood better because
absolutely.
We're not outside, we can't be outside so much, but if you have those plants inside and you're doing projects like that, it gets springtime going.
We need those juices flowing, and it makes everybody in a better mood, and it is, there have been thousands of studies about what it does for all those endorphins in your head and get you moving and grooving and all that fun stuff.
I did buy one yellow begonia on our little trip because it was at the checkout when I was getting my angel wings, and it was there, and I was like, and I love a good begonia anyway.
Absolutely.
And it's big and bright and yellow, and I was like,
big tuberous.
Yeah.
Looks like a rose.
And I was like, you know what? We're gonna have that.
We're gonna, and if it falters a little bit, you pinch him, and then in March you give him a little jolt of vitamin grow.
Yes. So I'm excited to see what that one does because it's already big and it's flourishing. So
well, and it makes you smile.
It does. I look at the yellow and I'm happy.
What is it about that? I do that too. Yellow will make me smile for sure. That's for sure. So what's on the wish list this year? Now, last year, we brought Jeff in and talked about straw bale.
I'm going to do strawberries in the straw bales, I've decided. I've been thinking about this. So it may only be like 1 or 2.
That's all right.
But I'm going to do it.
All right.
But I need the refresher of when I start the straw bale process.
In April.
In April, okay. Because I have to do 2 weeks of watering and fertilizing.
At least.
Yes.
Because
see, I'm ready.
The sooner that begins, and it takes faithful watering.
Yes, daily.
A
gallon a day.
Absolutely.
I listened. I'm ready.
You did.
I am ready.
So this will be the year of the reveal. How does it go? We had crazy straw bales last year. For the first time in 10 years of having Jeff guide us, Paul actually followed through, and I think part of it was Jeff might have nudged periodically.
A little bit.
Yeah. He takes his mentoring quite seriously, and so we had great preparation. We had a straw bale that wasn't quite as dense. That had been a challenge the year before. It was so dense, it just wasn't percolating and that sort of thing. And, the tomatoes were slow because we had goofy weather. Mm-hmm. But by golly, we had tomatoes in October.
Do you think strawberries is a good option to do in the straw bales?
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think it'd be great fun.
Now, my family's going to think I'm crazy because I do all these crazy little ideas. But when they're successful, then, they reap the reward.
And the goal isn't to make a strawberry pie. It's to go out and eat strawberries.
Yeah, I just want to pick them.
It's like cherry tomatoes for me.
Exactly.
They never come inside.
Yeah.
They always are in my mouth.
And we have a small strawberry patch. And that's kind of the problem with it, too. My nephew goes out, and he's just grown up with it. And so he'll say, oh, did you know there were ripe strawberries? no. And he's like, well, I
ate them all.
So you don't need to go out there. But
that's hilarious.
So yeah, so that I'm going to do straw bales. I'm going to do some strawberry
And
plants.
what better way to get him engaged?
Oh, yeah, he's going to love this.
Absolutely. And I know Jeff and Charlotte, my mentoring friends, their grands all have grown up with, let's go to Grandpa's, and they just pick off the vine and they are all about it. They're great vegetable eaters as a result.
So yeah, I'm excited about that. And we'll see.
I think that'll be great fun. We'll have a refresher course in the spring so that more people can give it a whirl, because I'm telling you, no weeds.
Oh, I love it.
No bunnies.
Yeah.
It's a win. You just have to kind of be consistent with it.
Got to be dedicated, but we got
to get it going. And
I mentally got prepared last year
there
when
you go.
I learned about it. So
it takes kind of a build up to get it ready.
And I feel like that's it. So I'm bad about, like, I want when it starts to be sunny out, I'm like, I want to put flowers out, right?
Right.
And I can't because the frost will still get
It's too soon. Yeah.
So I feel like the straw bales are going to be a good distraction for
me. Right. So you'll have a project.
Yep.
And it will be fruitful.
It will be fruitful, yes.
And everything will be a win.
And by the time I got that going, it'll be time to do my flowers.
Right.
Yeah.
I always laugh because I can be as tempted as any other fool that would spend money before it's time. When I see all the nursery plants out way, way too early, and I have to remind myself quite actively, those look real pretty. They all came from the South because we've been in the South when they're bringing them up. And it's not time yet. And that retailer's only too happy to sell them to you twice.
That's right.
So, you have to kind of exercise just a little bit of control and sketch out your plans and have your dreams, and then you'll be good to go and everything will be hunky-dory. So one of the things we'd love to hear, and it's getting late today, of course, because I've gone on and on and on and on, is what kind of things you want to talk about this year. Maybe some different topics. So call the radio station and let us know, because we want to keep it fresh and interesting. And maybe you have an idea we haven't thought about yet.
I'm hoping this year to expand my rose. I just got into the roses last year. Like, just dipped my toes. So, and I like the weird stuff, right? So, like, last year I got a rock and roll rose is what it was called.
Okay.
It's kind of a marbly thing.
Right.
So I like the little bit different.
The ones that are a little different. Well, I'm on the hunt for, and of course it's silly because I don't have enough sun, but I have been on the hunt, and I think I found a source in Noblesville. Back in my early garden club days, there was a lady in Columbus who had a peony that had that dark magenta plus white, and it was kind of speckledy.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. It has been in my brain ever since. And, she's long gone, so is her garden. So there's a peony farm up in Noblesville, so I'm going to be on the hunt to see if I can locate one of those.
That's exciting. I kicked myself because last year I saw a rose bush that they called it mustard ketchup, and it literally was red on one side of the leaf on the bloom and yellow on the other.
You're kidding.
And I didn't get it. But this year I'm hoping
mustard
to
and
find
ketchup.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll see what happens in 2026.
That'll be fun to see what comes around and what kind of new things. I'll be interested to see what the greenhouses put out, because they're always tempted in testing new varieties and new seeds. I know some of the bigger growers, of course, get invited to the big farms that develop the seeds, and we've been lucky enough to hear some of the speakers, like from Proven Winners and some of those giant growers. But Proven Winners often are independent growers who are subcontractors, so they'll grow a particular type of variety or that sort of thing. So it'll be fun to see what kind of things roll around and bring it to us.
That's right. Here comes 26, right?
Yay!
When we'll know about spring here February 2nd. A groundhog will be coming out.
Yeah, I think he's probably just going to be smoking and drinking.
You think so?
Yeah, because he really hadn't nailed us yet.
No.
But we'll deal with whatever he suggests. And does Randy Ellis have any influence on the groundhog?
I'll ask him.
I think you should pursue that.
I
and
will ask
see
him.
if he can't, invite him to go somewhere else if he's going to have bad news.
I'll mention that. I'll see what he can do.
I'd love to hear his answer.
I know. I've ordered good weather, and he's delivered quite well for me on those days we've needed it. So,
there you go.
There you go. We'll see what we can do with the groundhog.
All righty. Well, I think that's probably about all I've got for today. And I wish you all happy planning. Start a project. Order your Valentine's items early and often. And make the people in your life happy.
All right. We'll see you next month, Sarah.
All righty. Toodly-doo.